notes for that I thought's been fun. Talk shit. We're getting there. We're on there.
It is awesome to think that the English Premier League is back on.
Is back, baby.
Woo! We didn't have much of a break, to be fair.
Woo!
One more time.
Woo!
Nice.
Hurt me earlobes. But yes.
Were you excited?
Well, to be honest, I've been having my fix because when it was 2-week break, Arsenal played with the Community Shield, which they won against Liverpool and played very well. So I feel like I haven't had really a big break as much as like Man U and stuff. Because Man U got kicked out in the semi-finals of the Europa League, so he had to wait quite a long time.
Obviously, because we missed last week, we're going to do a quick recap on a few of the best games from week one. Have a chat about it.
Are you going to go through all the results from game one?
We can.
Just notably, and we can talk about individual things.
Yeah. Or do we want to just click and go through?
Talk about transfers first.
We can, if you'd like to.
Yeah. Okay.
No worries.
So going into the season up to date right now as of the... What is the date today? 22nd or 23rd? 23rd.
I'm opening it up right now, so I've got the lists in front of me.
Well, the top signings I know off the top of my head.
So straight away, alphabetical order, we've got Arsenal. So obviously, straight away I'm just going to fire them out. Willian from Chelsea on a free.
Great signing.
Fantastic signing. George Lewis. I think these are all youth players too, mate.
Yeah, Lewis is a youth.
Cedric Soares.
Yeah, he went from loan to buy. Yes,
yeah.
I think that's good depth in the right back.
Gabriel.
Great signing.
Mate,
and
then he looked pretty good.
He's very good, and he hasn't played for literally 5 months. People don't realise that he hasn't played for 5 months.
He's been injured.
No, he's just not been playing because the French league got stopped early.
He was linked so heavily with Chelsea. I actually started following it on Instagram because I thought it was happening.
That's the funny thing. PSG, Man City, Chelsea, all these big clubs went there, and apparently what got over the line was.
Because Arsenal don't have a great team, so he'll get more game time.
True. Arsenal beating Liverpool in the Community Shield and Aubameyang signing the extension contract.
Okay.
But yes, he hadn't played for 5-6 months because they cut the French League Liga 1 short. So he literally played his first game of football after a week of training, and yes, he performed man of the match and a goal, clean sheet. He looked He
looks good right now.
But we'll
talk about that in the games.
Correct. And Saliba also... come back off loan to
Danny
Arsenal.
Ceballos.
He got loaned again, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Saliba's going to be the next up-and-coming centre-back too. He'll probably play in the Carabao against Leicester.
There's no one here really big that's left your club besides your, obviously, Martinez, your keeper. He's gone to Aston Villa.
I still think, you know what? I think that would have been a dark horse for Chelsea to sign.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it, but he saved a penalty on his debut and kept a clean sheet for Aston Villa.
Just skipping straight away because we're just going to skip through some clubs and talk about the signings. Aston Villa, didn't realise this, Bertrand Traore. Remember him?
And Ollie Watkins.
The old Chelsea boy.
Watkins, the top scorer from the championship last season for Brentford.
Really? Okay, not bad.
And
see how he goes.
He set up the goal this morning.
I'll talk about them even more, but Brighton and Hove Albion, there's a lot of signings there, but I'll be honest, I don't know much of them, but they look good.
No, Lamptey. Right back from Chelsea.
Lamptey went there last year, though.
But
they play so well, but they lack a little bit of penetration in the final bit.
He has been penetration.
We're talking about signings. Let's not go too far. Let's not go too far. Let's just talk about transfers for now, and then we can talk about the games.
Okay, true.
I think.
But we're not talking over each other.
Straight away, I've skipped Burnley. I've skipped Burnley. They've got some ins, some outs. Nothing too crazy. Chelsea obviously have gone berserk. Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Ben Chilwell, Malang Sarr, who probably may go out on loan. They're looking at that. Thiago Silva, obviously a player that I've followed for a very, very long time, so it's kind of cool.
Should be fit for next week, apparently.
No, he's in the match squad apparently for tomorrow morning, the Barnsley game, the Carabao Cup match.
Definitely a good game to break him in for.
Kai Havertz.
Chilwell still a couple of weeks ago, though.
No, Chilwell apparently is in the squad as well. So
really?
they're predicting Chilwell and Thiago Silva potentially.
What's wrong with Ziyech?
Ziyech is still injured. So he hurt himself that first trial match when he set up that cross into Adoy, who went to header it, hit his chest, and then Werner tapped it in. So that game, he actually injured himself. And same with Pulisic.
Pulisic, yeah. Honestly, on paper, you guys will have a good team once they're ready.
Crazy, though, because listen, on the other side of it, look at the players that we also let go. Obviously, Pedro, great stint. He had a great stint at Chelsea. He scored some really important goals. Willian, I still believe we should have kept him, but
or
that's my
sold him for money. Willian is such a good asset, and no one realizes the
quality.
the transition from
Willian.
Yeah, he's quality.
His experience is good for backroom staff and young up and coming players, but also the transition. There's no transition. Like your Burners and stuff need to adjust to the English Premier League.
Correct.
He doesn't.
Correct, and that's the biggest test right now, and we'll talk about it in the highlights quickly when we talk about games. But Willian, for us, after the COVID break...
Best player.
Was our best player.
Him and Pulisic were your best players.
Yeah, Pulisic as well. But I'm saying Willian was in really good form.
And he kept that form.
And I can't believe the only thing that we didn't keep them was because he wanted 3 years instead of... And then Chelsea only offered him 2. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the other players that are kind of... We know quite well...
Pedro and Willian, they're gone.
Batshuayi's on loan to Crystal Palace.
Again,
that young up-and-comer, Conor Gallagher, he's off West Brom. Zappacosta, back out on loan again.
Actually, it's not on there, but we just loaned out a Arsenal player to McGuinness to Ipswich Town. He's going to be a big Irish centre-back.
You reckon?
Yeah. He's going to be gone in a couple of years.
I'll just skip through Crystal Palace. We'll get down to United soon, mate, I promise. Everton.
We'll talk about your one side.
Everton's
Everton is gone.
James.
Yeah,
honestly,
you take Everton a bit because you've been watching them.
I've been loving it. I think Everton are gone this year.
But just straight away,
Decore,
Rodriguez and
James
Decore.
Rodriguez. There was that Allen as well in midfield.
From Napoli.
I'm not 100% sure, but he's supposed to be really good.
He should be good. He
And
won't be
and Konku from Marseille.
They're just like who's the manager at Everton? Ancelotti, and they're just different. They're just different. They're playing very decently. Honestly, they kind of like. If Man United continue being terrible, I'll probably support Everton.
I just think if Richarlison had consistency, I think they could go places.
He was gone.
Yeah, but
he's so consistent.
But his decision making's not.
I think
like the one where everyone bantered him, which was actually not the best ever because he was unbalanced. And yes, he beat the keeper, but still was a hard angle on his other foot. Anyway, yes, he should have given it to Calvert-Lewin. But I just think his decision-making, he's still young, like in that sense. He needs his decision-making to be nailed down.
I think he's gone.
Same problem with Iwobi. That's why we got rid of him. His decision-making wasn't quite there.
Well, that's why he's not starting.
Everything was working, but his final product and decision-making was not
Fulham,
the best.
Leeds, a lot of the players, like they've got players from Wolves. They picked up Man City, like Jack Harrison.
They will miss Ben White. That's a big mention because Ben White just went into the Brighton team and he didn't go back to Leeds, and he was one of the sole players' reason why they've come up. He was a gun at centre-back.
Leicester haven't bought anyone too big. Not really. Obviously they lost Ben Chilwell.
No. Leicester.
Timothy Castagne.
Yes,
from Atlanta.
Castagne. He had a debut of his life too. He scored and an assist, I think.
I rate probably one of the... Obviously Chelsea have made a shitload of good signings, but Thiago...
To Liverpool.
That is a change.
That's
almost like rest in peace league.
You see the little stats about his halftime thing?
Honestly,
in 45 minutes, he made more passes than any Chelsea player throughout the entire game.
Yeah, correct. But he was also playing
he broke a record as most passes made in a play of 45 minutes.
If you watch the game, if you watch the game, honestly, Chelsea had 10 men. We had lone Werner up front by himself. We had everyone behind the ball, and all that Thiago did was sat deep in the holding midfield and picked the ball up and just literally sprayed it from side to side.
Yeah,
the whole
still
time.
impressive.
It's still impressive.
It's impressive, but the way the game was going, him coming on, that stat was always going to happen.
I just think he was glorified a bit too much. They were like, the best debut ever, even though... We even laughed about it. I was like, oh, what a pass. And it was like a 5-metre ball. And I was like, oh, what a pass.
It was like tiki-taka kind of stuff.
Couple of moments of brilliance.
Still impressive.
But honestly, at one point, him and Salah...
He's got to make the passes. Like he could miss.
Honestly, at one point...
He could kick it out.
Yes, but at one point, him and Salah sat next to each other, and Salah and him literally one pass to each other, and he made 10 passes in like 5
Chelsea
seconds.
Just gave up and were doing damage control.
Chelsea had 7 at the back.
We'll talk
essentially.
We'll talk about it. Man City, so that's Liverpool. I don't know where Diogo Jota is going to fall into the team. I don't understand. Whether he's just going to deal with a backup to the front three.
Do you know what? I actually didn't know, but the way someone put it online was he is still young. He was the same age.
How old is he?
He's only 23, 23, 24. And when Mane signed for Liverpool first, he was 23, 24, and now he's 4 seasons in.
Yeah.
So he might be... Klopp's looking future, which is what the Invincibles failed at doing and looked further to good signings. Mane or Salah, they get really good money for them next season, and he'll slot in. And he's been consistent. He was Wolves' second top goal scorer behind Jimenez, and half the time he came off the bench.
And probably at this stage, I think obviously the biggest rivals, obviously to Liverpool, the reigning champs, is City. But I mean, how do you add to that squad? I mean, Ferran Torres, I don't know much about him, haven't watched a lot.
Up and comer.
Pablo Moreno, not sure about him really. Nathan Ake, fantastic defender.
That's a great signing.
It's a great signing, and will he shine in the City team? Hopefully.
I think he should.
Because I rated him when he was at Chelsea. So
even at Bournemouth, he just took that team by the scruff of the neck. And I think at one point he was captain too. But Francis wasn't there.
Look at their outs. I find this interesting. Leroy Sané, for me...
Mate, Sané also had a debut of his life too.
Sané's probably going to become one of the best players in Germany now.
Him and Nats, actually, great photo.
And Gnabry?
Yeah, him and Gnabry, and then Robben and Ribéry. Same numbers, same kind of connection.
David Silva. David Silva's left. His stint in the Premier League's been gun.
10 years.
I love David Silva.
He was a gun. The little magician, they used to call him.
Let Scott have a bit of a chat here. Man United. For some reason, they've still got Ighalo.
They do.
Yeah, they extended his loan.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably what.
So it goes to, I think it goes to January.
And Donny van der Beek.
Yeah.
Didn't I tell you he'd score?
Yeah, that was scary how you predicted that.
I predicted they'd lose and Donny van der Beek to score, and I should have put my whole paycheck on it because I would have won $15,000.
Yeah.
So where's he going to sit in the team, do you think?
So I thought he was holding. I thought he was a holding. But
this morning
he seems to be an around the box.
Yeah,
he's very
box midfielder.
No, not box. He just sits around the edge of the box. He's like a Bruno Fernandes but bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. I thought he was going to sit back with Pogba, but he seems to be.
He seemed to be banging goals in for Ajax. Remember when they went on that run?
Yes. So
that's what I mean. He goes forward, so he's either a Bruno Fernandes position where he'll sit around the edge of the box and pick passes through or go through and score, or he's like a Pogba sitting deep but then go forward to support.
Yes, I think he's more like that.
But that means Van der Beek's not really going to be in the starting. He'll be backing up Bruno Fernandes and Pogba's positions. Because you need... you can't have Donny van der Beek and Pogba going forward. You need to have Matic or Fred sitting.
He'll play over Pogba. I'm sorry.
I don't give a fuck. Oh.
Pogba's not been playing very well. And if you watch Van der Beek's highlights, which I did, honestly, all of his goals were dodgy, just like his first goal was, but it just popped up to him and he was in the right space, right time, ran through, put it in. And that's why I was like, he's not really defending mid, but he's almost like a non-box-to-box centre mid. He almost sits there, gets the ball, Fernandes maybe gives it back to him, but then he drops himself in awkward spots where the ball pop out.
I haven't
almost
watched
like
United
almost
yet.
like a centre.
I didn't. That's what I mean. I didn't either.
Almost like a central.
Know too much about Van der Beek.
A central midfield like poacher.
So
yeah, like a central midfield poacher. It's weird, but
Newcastle are basically Bournemouth now.
That is
Fraser
a great
Wilson.
signing. That's a great signing. And
both of them, two good signings. Jeff Hendrick from Burnley.
He had a debut as well. Good debut.
Jamal Lewis from Norwich. Don't know too much about him.
That's dying.
Sheffield United. They got Ampadu, my boy, from Chelsea on loan. I think he's still going to be one of the best up-and-coming defenders because he's fantastic on the ball. Well, I'll be interested to watch Sheffield and see how he goes and hopefully he gets plenty of time.
Let's go with the big hairdo.
Yeah. He's shaved it off now, though. It's just like a normal haircut. Looks weird.
He looks like Shelby.
Southampton, no one really that we have too much to talk about. Tottenham, obviously the big return of Gareth Bale.
Yeah, that was big. I had a dream about that.
He's going to be out for a month.
Playing golf.
No, he's actually out for a month with an injury.
Really?
He failed his medical.
Well, he passed it.
He passed it to get
condition.
Signed, but a condition of the medical check is that he's injured.
Yeah, he's injured for a month. So, lol. And then they also signed the Real Madrid right back.
They
also signed
Reguilino or something.
They signed that Højbjerg from Southampton.
I actually don't hate that signing. I think that's a good signing.
He's a solid.
Højbjerg was Southampton's probably up there with the top three.
He's like that sort of level quality player that maybe not. Maybe we need to go a bit higher. But like Man United need to sign like quality players to build in some depth. We got no depth.
Yeah,
we're just exhausted.
Jan Vertonghen was released. It's a bit of a big one. Don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but
old.
I think Alderweireld and Sanchez had taken his spot though.
Sanchez is good.
He's been fading out, and now not Foden. Foyth is now coming through a bit too.
West Brom, mate. Branislav Ivanovic. He's back, the big man.
The old pigeon toes. The old running like a pigeon.
And they also got Conor Gallagher from Chelsea on loan. He's like he killed it in the championship.
Yeah,
So
right.
He's probably a one to watch for the future.
Yeah.
West Ham, nothing really. Wolverhampton, every single Portuguese player in history.
That's the thing, though. West Ham have good depth. Just back on West Ham, you just seen their bench against Arsenal. They have a good bench.
Mm.
And at one point, they almost lost Declan Rice to Chelsea, obviously.
Yeah,
But I don't think you guys will.
Did Declan Rice actually leave?
No, he's still there.
no, it's just ongoing.
It's ongoing, but he wanted to leave, but...
What sent it into craziness is a few weeks ago, before the Premier League season started, there's a picture he actually went and saw and caught up with John Terry.
Oh.
Yeah.
And there was like a meeting, and they got photos, and they were like, "Oh,
He's going to Aston Villa.
well." Everyone thought Chelsea, so I don't know.
Yeah.
He's going to Villa.
And then, yes, Wolves. I think they're also kind of doing bits as well.
Nelson Semedo.
That's a great signing. Done now. Done
Yeah.
now.
They're the quick overview of all the signings. Well, not quick, but we've gone through them, most of them now. Yeah, it's interesting. Really good.
Just outside the Prem, I don't want to touch on too much, but Morata actually got confirmed to go back to Juve. Did you know that?
And then
Suarez to Atletico. Him and
He went to Juve.
Diego Costa up top.
No, he actually ended up going to Atletico. So him and Diego Costa are just going to fight people. He's going to bite. He's going to fight.
Literally.
Oh yeah, he holds onto his ankle with.
Literally.
Oh, God. But yeah, that's just one or two things.
Suarez will bite them, and Costa will come over with a headbutt.
Pjanic from Juve went to Barca as well.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That happened last year.
No, but it was.
They swapped.
But they loaned him back though, because he's now there officially to play with Messi, and then Messi almost left.
Classic Messi.
Classic Messi.
Let's get into week one.
So week one.
Week one, we know we're a week behind, but we're just going to pick a couple of the big games that we want to talk about.
Probably
and
the
watch.
biggest game from
Leeds
round
United
one
are back.
was Leeds United.
Maybe just mute it.
Oh, I love ads.
Can you just mute it?
I actually have
You
not
can cut
thought
that
of.
out.
Can you mute it?
Mute what?
The volume.
Why?
Because I want you to mute it.
Do we need to mute? Oh, because you're going to put something over it.
Well, I just think we're going to... I really don't think we need this.
What are you doing?
Trying to freaking mute it.
There's
What do
a
you mean you
mute
don't
button.
need what?
Well, we're watching this for our benefit. We're not watching it for the viewers' benefit.
Well, we're meant to talk about it as we watch it. Jack Harrison.
Yeah, he's quality. He's bloody very quick.
It's that second goal.
Oh,
Van
good
Dijk.
save, keeper. That's some Kepa shit right there.
Oh, we can talk about Kepa in a bit.
Yeah.
No, you're supposed to use your
Do you
hands.
think Van Dijk will have a good... speaking of that, Bamford.
Ke-
He did well there, by the way,
Captain.
Bamford.
Honestly, though,
Just casually salty I didn't put Allison in my team this week for fantasy. Saved a penalty, clean sheet, got 14 points, and I picked Pickford because I thought
What
they'd
a
get
That
clean
is
sheet.
some strike.
some finish. Yeah, I think he's
Bad
getting...
clearance though.
Did you guys watch this game?
No.
I did.
Leeds looked all right, huh?
They looked very sharp. It's just their defence they need to clean up a little bit. And that's why I think Ben White's going to be a big miss. He's going to be the reason why Brighton actually do very well.
This was, I think, it's a penalty, but it's a stupid
100%.
striker tackle.
100%.
Rodrigo.
Stupid striker tackle.
That's one of Leeds' new signings, Rodrigo.
That's how my mate Sam defended, and he got pissed off why people try to fight him. I'm like, you just studded the freaking man.
Yeah, that's 100% a penalty.
Yeah.
Oh
Unfortunately.
no, straight up penalty.
But it's definitely got everyone thinking about Leeds United.
Before we go on to the next highlights, they have been roasting Van Dijk, being like, "Oh, he stepped down a peg.
that's the
he's
same-
all this." But it's so harsh for a man that technically orchestrated and controlled a Liverpool team that needed a rock like him. Since Gerrard, they've had no rock. Henderson stepped up, but
Yeah,
Van
but-
Dijk has been
yeah,
so
it's not
controlling.
necessarily the rock. Like
All these people
like,
are sitting...
Liverpool don't have a rock.
He is their rock.
They have their team is incredible. They don't have one single player to depend on. Van Dijk is one of the best defenders in the world, but he's got Alexander Arnold on the right, Robertson
Arnold
on the
can't
left.
defend.
He can't defend, but that's what I mean. They're not, and even Alisson is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Like Liverpool have a great team. I don't believe Van Dijk, as you've seen,
But he just
he's
made
not
that one mistake.
Well, that's
only
the
one
standard that's been
Yeah.
set. When you become the best defender in the world, or best goalkeeper in the world, or best striker, or best player in the world, your standards are set higher. So a mistake is going to be ridiculed
I think
because
any-
it's blood in the water.
Any defender in the Premier League is going to be upset if they made that mistake.
Well,
Yes, but
of
in
course.
Van Dijk, in
the
players'
follow-up.
cases who have ascended the average professional and are deemed one of the best or the best in that position in the entire world, their mistakes are ridiculed more, as you said.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say Liverpool. I wouldn't say Liverpool is Van Dijk, because Mane is now he's got more goals than Ronaldo did in the Premier League. So Ronaldo's played 190 something games. I don't know what the stats were, and then Mane reached the same. He scored 2 more goals more than Ronaldo did. So does that make Mane better than Ronaldo?
Not as much assist though.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
But yes, so I just think all I said was, long story short, was I just think it was a bit harsh how much they jumped down his throat. I'm like, that's a bit...
People are sitting around and waiting for these opportunities.
Of course they will.
They've got nothing better to do. It's a whole bunch of Simons.
I think the biggest thing we've just flicked over.
I'm so disappointed with Chelsea start, by the way.
Why?
Like, I was expecting so much more.
Why?
Like, I know you got
this is exactly how I expected
some of their new signings and stuff aren't playing. I know they're injured, but still, I was expecting more.
I was expecting, even if we had a full strength with all the new signings, mate, a performance like this, a disjointed, not sure what we're doing kind of performance. Because how do you expect?
I don't like how they're using Warner at all. He's not a player to leave up there by himself.
They don't know how to use any of their team yet. Havertz was playing a false 9 against Liverpool.
I can look at Warner and I can tell he cannot sit up front in the Premier League by himself.
Yes, but then he played left wing against Liverpool.
He looked dangerous when on the break.
No, but he needs to be forward on the break, but he needs muscle up there to support him.
Now he's playing on the left, so he drops in and out.
Yeah, because he's getting away from the 3 giant centre backs. He's got no.
Everyone's got centre backs.
Did you watch the game?
Doesn't matter. I can tell.
I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is, yes, I do agree, but
oh, what goalkeeping! Oh,
we can talk about Kepa, but
watch the angle. It dips away. I
don't care. When you pay that much money for a goalkeeper, he should.
It's his positioning, and I actually watched a video, and it's like
James.
Oh my goal of the week, easily.
Yeah,
I need to check your Leicester goal, but I watched that live. I clicked in on it wherever I was. I was like, "Whoo!"
I absolutely love seeing the young guys doing well. Even Scott, most of the players that we brought in, a lot of them are young. Obviously not Thiago, but what a finish!
Goal.
See, I even love Zuma. Do you know his middle name's Happy? Kurt Happy Zuma.
I think he's a little onko.
He is. On the ball.
Zuma's
100%.
very
I'm telling you right now, just give you guys a quick 2 minutes of my thoughts on this game. Brighton were the better team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Brighton were fantastic. That Tariq Lamptey was the best player on that park.
And he was also the best player in the next game too. When they played we'll go into
Tariq Lamptey just left Chelsea last season, and mate, I thought he was good back then.
Are we just going to watch all the goals? That was quick. Let's just watch them all. Why not? We're just going to talk as we go, but yes, I agree. I think...
That's what I mean. The biggest challenge that Chelsea see
don't
right
know
now,
where to play anyone yet.
But it's not even that. It's the gelling. It's everything.
No, I know those parts will come into it.
Thiago Silva's only just joined training.
Havertz has only had 5 days worth of training and he's played twice.
Ziyech and Werner were there the earliest because of all the COVID things, and their seasons finished earlier, so they've been with the squad. But now Ziyech is injured.
Yeah.
So now he's not even played with Havertz. He hasn't even played with all of these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they need to adjust and get better. Like, they need to get used to the Premier League, but that's why I was excited. I'm excited about him, and I was like, "Oh, come on!" Considering I set their team up on FIFA, and
yeah, I understand it's good on paper, but in reality, it could be
that goal.
It could be 6 to 8 weeks until we see the best from Chelsea.
Yeah, well, I don't like how they're playing.
Think so.
I wouldn't play Warner that way.
They don't have set players like Havertz played false 9 and then played wing. Werner, yes, he looks better on a wing and drifts in and out of the centre.
I don't like him on the wing either.
Well, where are you going to play him at centre back?
He needs strength up there with him. There needs to be 2 strikers.
Like a Cam?
No, 2 strikers.
No, but are you talking...
You'd have him up there, you'd have him on the left and pretty much tell him to do a free roll. Like if he wants to drift inside. So you'd have like Giroud up there who holds the ball, lays it into a Havertz who's just in behind and then plays it in behind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think would benefit.
But you know, it'll come to light once.
There is no good goal. Right?
Well, maybe
it's that first one and 2 penalties.
Maybe it's this week.
He custard.
Well, yes, I just think it'll come to light. Like the more players come available, because Hudson-Odoi still, I think, should have played by now.
Well, he's been coming off the bench, and that's the big thing. Apparently, he's starting to be unhappy. Blah blah blah, all that shit. So they reckon that he's starting tomorrow morning against Barnsley.
He should.
Yeah.
If he doesn't start...
I love starting in a Carling Cup match against a low team. Woo!
Don't watch them. They're 12 minutes. 10 minutes. Go left. Why are you on right?
Arsenal. There.
Are you on left or right?
All right. Because if you go left, you get to round 2.
True.
This has the greatest goal ever, by the way.
Great
This
way
is the best goal I've ever seen.
Great way to start the Premier League season.
Mate, and it didn't even count as an assist for Willian. If it would have counted, he would have got 3 assists.
What was it say that Lacazette has scored the opening goal in the Premier League 3 times now?
Yeah. But it's still like you still have to be there. Like it's positioning. Even
Honestly,
though
if there's any good signing that come out of this year, it's probably Aubameyang signing the renewal contract for
Hey,
Arsenal.
I'm telling you, you are going to be frothing over Willian this season.
I'm telling you, I already am.
Mate,
even
he's
against
class.
West Ham next week, I'll talk about it. But he looks sharp.
He's fucking class.
Pepe is more of a skillful. You swore. Love it. So, yeah, from what I gathered from this team, the worst thing was El Neni.
By the way, that jersey's mint.
They have 3 great jerseys.
I personally,
Post,
I like
post. Oh.
It's basically a penalty.
Jesus.
El Neni and Maitland-Niles did
Personally, I
not
like-
deserve to be dropped, and they got dropped for the next week, and I don't know why, because Ceballos and Saka were just not up to pace.
Can Arsenal get over their, you know, when they go through that really terrible period around Christmas? You know, it's like 3/4 through the season. They always go through the rut.
It's not going to happen this time. We have better
You
mentality.
said that the last 3 years.
No, this...
Arteta has changed the mentality of the place. They've got a bit more of a hunger about them, but
Yes.
they have the same defensive issues.
What's
they
Ozil
don't.
doing?
Ozil's at home playing
Gabriel
Fortnite.
is in there, and he is definitely an improvement. But I mean, you can't. There's usually why there's 2 centre backs. You need
Watch this
another
ball.
part.
Watch
We've
this
got
pass.
3.
Watch it-
Good
watch this
part.
pass.
We've got 3 centre-backs.
Yeah,
We're playing 3 centre-backs.
They're not great though. Or this could be
Top
Great
right.
goal.
That's a great
Oh.
finish. That's his signature now.
That's top.
They've actually signatured that goal to be his goal.
what he scored it. Of course
No,
it's his
take
goal.
it.
That's
Take
like a Coutinho.
No, comes in, takes on his right. He's got the exact same goal against Liverpool Community Shield. They've actually...
Wow, a right-footed player comes in on his right foot from the left
Yeah,
side
I
and
think
curls
Oh,
it to the
and
back
sorry,
right corner.
puts it top right
wow.
corner.
That's bullshit.
Oh,
and he did
wow.
it twice in a row within 2... No,
Sorry, I
you
think
guys
that's
just don't know
bullshit.
it.
I don't know it. Freaking striker, freaking physics.
Scott, Timo Werner went through 1-on-1 and slotted it past the keeper. It's been set.
Oh, it's a Timo Werner thing. Yeah, it's a Timo
Okay.
See, like when you think
Okay.
when you think
Round 2.
when you think round 2, okay. When you think of a goal which is iconic to a player, they think like Messi's halfway run thing.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it every week.
But that's
How
not-
is it can't be Trey
No.
Martinez if he doesn't do it every week? That's just
Doesn't mean-
stupid.
no,
I would say-
goals are scored every single week, and I'm sure if you looked it up, I would Google, be like left side, right foot, top right corner goals,
Can
and
I
I could find
can I
100
jump
goals
in?
that look
Can
exactly
I
the
say
same.
something?
No,
Can I
Henri's-
say something?
Before this, Henri's trademark goal was running in and then slotting it bottom right, opening his body up. That was trademarked his. Every player does it, but
Someone
every
was to
time,
tell-
every time Henri ran through 1-on-1, he slotted it.
Someone told me, if someone said to me, choose a goal that reminds you of Henri, it would be the flick and hit the back
See,
post
I see.
against
What
Man
I
United.
don't believe trademark goals.
That's
you
the
think
most
of an
iconic.
See, he's thinking like something they'll do every
It's
day.
the most iconic Henri goal.
No, trademark as in he is known for it.
Every striker does that.
What's Robben known for?
Cutting in on the left.
Thank you. He's known for it. That's a trademark.
Yeah, because he's a right winger that's
Doesn't mean
left-footed.
it's his. Martial can do it next
I
week.
don't believe with this. I don't believe this. Sorry.
Your logic is flawed
It's not flawed. How's it flawed?
I'm telling you what.
because
you know,
everyone does it.
Yes, so did Robin, but Robin's known for it. Trademark because he's known for it. I'm not saying no one else does it.
Do you know who else cuts in from the right side on their left foot?
Martial.
Shaqiri.
Shaqiri.
Martial's right-footed, dickhead.
He can still use his left foot, can't he?
Not as good.
Still can use it though.
Why would it be preferred foot if he does the left the
I
same
think
way?
a better way to say it would be a trait.
No.
Yes,
he's
it's
not-
not
he's not
his
backing
thing.
down.
I just said to you, what is Robin known
It's not
for?
his thing.
And you just off your head went, he's in for top left. Aubameyang's now done it twice in 2
The
games.
one person who I think does it every single week.
And also twice
Tell
in
me-
2 games
tell me-
becomes his trademark.
Tell me a typical. If someone says, "Oh, a Coutinho screamer," what is it?
It's on the outside of the box and it just drifts somewhere.
Are you fucking kidding me? Every time he cuts, he comes inside and bends it far post. Every
No.
time.
See, Ryan, wait,
Look up any of Coutinho's good goals. They're all the same.
I'm okay.
Cut it up.
put a fork in it.
Eat it with a spoon. Thank you very much.
See you.
Thank you very much.